What's up guys, it's Eddie here doing my best to make your stream the best it can be. Alright guys, so what we're going to do here today is a little bit different from what we normally do on the channel. I've decided to start a series on streaming basically. The reason I'm doing this is because when I started streaming there was so much information on the internet, but it didn't really make sense to me. People were talking about what you should do when you're partnered, when you're this and that. Truth is, most people are just streaming, trying to make something out of it, and we're not partnered, most of us aren't even an affiliate, and we can't get our streams to work properly. Every time we look something up, people are like, yeah, you need to stream in 1080p, no, you need to stream in 720p. It's so confusing, and most of it doesn't even make sense. People have no clue what they're talking about most of the time. Of course, there are a couple of people that actually do know. In this video, we are going to talk about everything, and I mean everything you need in order to set up your stream. I'm talking about which bitrate should we use, which capture source should we use, how do we set up our mic properly, how do we set up the game properly, what is bitrate, everything. Before we get any further though, let me tell you this. I am streaming all the time, and if you want to know more, something I don't cover in this video, make sure to go in the description below, go down there and follow me on the stream. Also, this month, so March 2019, we're actually streaming every single day. Bit of a, well, tournament with ourselves, if you will. But if you have any more questions, anything I don't cover in this video, leave it down in the comments below. Make sure to go into the description, go to Twitch, see if I'm online, and ask me the questions in the comments or on stream. Any would do. If you don't have any more questions, you're just like, let's just hang out with this crazy Dutch guy. Follow me as well. I mean, come on, couldn't hurt. So, without further ado, let's get this started. So, in this first video, we are going to cover everything you need to know in order to set up a nice stream. There's so much information on the internet, and some of it's correct, some of it's just nonsense, and it's very hard, very hard to distinguish which is nonsense and which is actually good advice, and what should you actually do when you're new to streaming. So I'm going to walk you through how to set up your stream in this video real quickly. And there will be more videos in this series, okay? First thing you want to do is go into File and Settings. This opens up, right? So this is not too hard. This is just your general settings. Don't change anything. It's just your language and snap sensitivity. This is the only thing you want to worry about. If you are moving around your webcam later on, your webcam or whatever, and you notice it snapping like that, turn that off, okay? Just don't enable this, apply, there we go. Next, stream, continue stream key. Google, how do I put in my Twitch or anything, stream key, they'll help you, okay? This is easy. Now, this is where it gets important, and this is the reason I wanted to make this video. This is about bitrate and how do you stream. First off, what is bitrate? It's very hard to describe it or explain what it is if you don't know how it works. But there's analogies, right? So what you can think of is your bitrate is a can of spray paint. If you have a very big can of spray paint, you can paint your screen very quickly. If you have a very small one, it will take ages and it's not going to fill up your entire screen in a set period of time. That's basically how this works. In order to stream, you need to upload your screen to someone else's computer. If you use 30 FPS, you will need to fill that screen 30 times a second. If you use 60 FPS, you will have to fill it 60 times a second. But your can of spray paint needs to be big enough to do that. Your bitrate is the spray paint. Bitrate, spray paint. So, how much do you actually need? It depends, okay? There's a couple of factors. First off, you need to see how much can you actually use. Google speed test, internet speed test, and see how much upload speed you actually have. 1 megabit on the speed test is 1000 bit rate. Okay, so this is kilobits, and the speed test gives you megabits. For the sake of this video, we'll assume you're new to streaming, and I'm going to recommend streaming on 720p. The reason for this is Twitch uses transcoding for their partners. This means that when someone is watching a video by Shroud or whoever, and he's streaming in 1080p, you can just click his stream and say, oh no, I don't want to watch this in 1080p, I want to watch it in 720p. Or I want to watch it in 480p, 360p. So people who don't have enough internet to actually download a 1080p video, a 1080p stream, can still watch it. If you're not a partner, you don't get much views or anything, you don't have those transcoding options. So that's why I'm telling you, stream on 720p so that everyone who wants to watch your stream can watch your stream. Now you ask me, how much bitrate do I need for 720p though? Well, I recommend the lowest you want to go is probably 4000, but I recommend 4500. Keep in mind that people say that Twitch has a maximum of 6k, 6000. I don't know if this is true actually. You can stream at 8000, but then I think they have the right to remove you when the site's very busy. And some people won't be able to see your videos anyway because the bitrate's so high. Okay? So, 4500. Keep it on that one, test how it goes, okay? If you... Well, you shouldn't notice anything. If you want to stream on 1080p, push this to 6000 if you have enough internet. I'm not going to stop you, just keep in mind what I said about people being able to watch your videos, okay? So 4500 should be fine. 5000 could work as well. A bit higher. Keep in mind people need to be able to watch it. Encoder will be software x264 if you want to encode with your CPU. Hardware NVENC if you want to encode with your GPU. You'll have to try both of these, okay? I don't know which specs your PC has, what it's able of achieving. Try them both. Maybe you have a much better CPU than GPU and you want to use x264 like I do, or you want to use your graphics card. The graphics card doesn't get as crisp as the CPU, but it is actually easier for most GPUs to handle it, okay? So keep that in mind. If you use this one, I would only recommend this one if you can go to advanced settings here, set this to either one of these three. I would say put it to faster and see if you're actually getting like a crisp shot, and it's actually the amount of FPS we will set later on in the video, okay? If it doesn't work that way, use NVENC, test, and see how it looks. I skipped a little bit here. What does the encoder preset means? This basically means how crisp does your encoder make the shot. If you look at this, if you go to slower, you'll blow up your PC. Like, I don't know of any CPUs that can handle that. Most people want to go anywhere between very fast and fast. Fast is harder on your CPU than very fast. Keep that in mind. Use faster, see how it goes. You might want to go very fast, but keep an eye on the picture. What I recommend for this one is going very fast or faster. Okay? One of those two. I use faster myself when I stream normally, so it works for me, but I have quite a PC. Okay? Next one. Custom encoder settings. You can fill something in here. Don't do it. Don't even worry about it. Okay? This is your recording. When you record, I'm not going to explain this here because this is not streaming, this is recording, okay? If you want to see a video on how to record properly, comments down below. Audio. Keep this the way it is, okay? The only thing I would recommend is to have a push the mute button when you sneeze, when you cough. No one wants to have their eardrums blown out. So set that to something. Okay? Would you do that in hotkeys? Right? Video. This is important as well. Your base canvas resolution is the resolution used on your screen, and it will fill it in automatically. Okay? I have two screens. This one, it just puts in there because it's a direct correspondence with the 1920 1080. This will always be 1080p if you have a 1080p monitor. Don't even worry about it. But this one is what your stream is actually scaled to. Now, like I said, we are going to go for 1280 by 720, which is 720p. Now, here's the tricky part. You don't see this in any other videos. At least I haven't. I always thought, well, I'll use my CPU to encode my stream, and then I'll set it to 720p, and it will be easier on my CPU. No. Your CPU will actually have to do more work, because it has to transcode into a different thing, different size than is actually on your screen. Keep that in mind, please. I think Lanczos scaling is good, and I always want to use 60 FPS. Why? I play Warframe mostly, and Warframe is very high paced. If you have loads of areas on your screen that move around, it's harder for your PC to encode that 60 times per second with that little can of spray paint. You can see how that works. If you're playing World of Warcraft and not much changes in the ambience, it's easier for your PC to stream that correctly. Okay? So I recommend this 720p. For high-paced games you can go with 60 FPS because it's actually very important that people get a very smooth image. Or if you're playing Arena on World of Warcraft or whatever, it doesn't really mean that much. If you're playing Hearthstone, no one cares if they can see 60 cards moving the screen a second. So that's what I base it on. It's my experience watching other streamers. So for high-paced games, 60 FPS, see how that works. For low-paced games, use the 30. Okay? Good. So this is advanced. This is the last one we're going to talk about this video. Okay? Process priority. I always set this to high. Reason is, what this means is your PC prioritizes which programs get first access to all the CPU, all the GPU, and most games nowadays just, they're like, oh, I've got first priority, I need 30% of the CPU, but I can take 90, so why not? And they drain everything. And you'll spike in FPS to like 140 FPS, for me at least. It's even higher on Warframe. I'm at like 210 FPS if I don't have this on. And I'm like, why is my stream not working properly? It's because your process doesn't have the right priority in your PC. So I always recommend keeping this on high, because you'll want to have like a 50-50 between the game and the stream. I would even say the stream's more important. Next one, video. Leave this. Color format, leave this. Always leave this, don't ever touch it. Color space is always good. Partial and full, just the color range, right? I like to use full. Gives it a little bit more of a, of a snap to it. You know, the color is a bit more vibrant. I have a very bad webcam. It's actually the first thing I'd like to replace from my stream is the webcam and get a proper camera. But this helps a little bit, giving it a more professional look. So I like full. Test it, see what you like. And yeah, that's basically it for the color of the video. Then, what's this? Color formats, then... Oh, I scrolled. See? Don't do that. If you scroll on this one, you get all these pop-ups, it's bad. Okay? Recording, not going to talk about this. Stream delay, don't do it. You want to be able to actually respond to your chat quickly. So don't touch that. And now the next one is network. It's your default network, right? And that's basically it for the settings. So at this point you'll have your settings set up. And now I'm going to show you like the basics of this. the basics of adding a game and a webcam. And everything else we are going to do in next parts of this video series. So if you want to see that again, subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitch, because I would love to answer all your questions on the stream as well. Let's see. For capturing a game, if you can, always use game capture, right? You just use game capture, okay? I'm going to explain this a little bit more. For scaling, don't do that. SLI, don't do that. Both of these give me big problems with the stream. I wouldn't touch any of this actually. I will explain what it all means in a video if someone wants to see this, but this is not important at all. This isn't important at all. Just click OK. You want to click on capture a specific window, and for me it would be Warframe. Okay? I want to capture Warframe. Now, if I click open Warframe for a little bit, and I alt tab back out, you see it captures the game. It's frozen now because I'm not actually in the game, so it doesn't move it. It takes away all the power it needs from the CPU and GPU, so it doesn't move it. But as you can see, we actually have the game on the screen right now, and it's capturing it beautifully. So that's very easy. The next thing you want to do is go for a video capture device. Just create a new one. You can call it whatever you like. Do webcam and click OK. I have the HD Pro webcam from Logitech, the C920. I can select this, but I can't use it right now because I'm using it in Streamlabs to record this video. But normally it pops up here. Configure video gives you a bunch of options. I will go over this in the next video on how to make your camera look as good as it can do, basically. The rest, this is partial color again. I will change that. The resolution type always default, and the rest is not very important at all. It doesn't really change much. These are the basics, right? So now you have your webcam and you have your game capture. This is basically all you need, except for your mic, right? For the mic, you just want to click over here on the settings, go to properties, and you select a device, and you just choose one. I don't know which one you guys use. Normally for me is this one. Not going to click it because then it takes it away probably from my recording software I'm also running right now. So that's the basics, right? You just click start streaming, because in settings you've put in your stream key and you're good to go. I would recommend making a fake channel on Twitch in order for you to test your stream. Do that, see how it looks, and happy streaming, you know what I mean? I'm actually really glad I could explain all this to you guys, because I wish someone would have explained it to me. If you have any questions, please, please, please let me know. I know how frustrating it can be. Just send me a message, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on Twitch, anywhere. Ask me your questions and I think we'll sort it out together. I am so ready to just help everyone getting their stream to work. Really happy to help you guys, and I'll see you in the next video in this little series. Subscribe, follow me on Twitch if you will. Eddie out.